Okay, listen guys, listen. I know SMG4 is live streaming now, but I've been making this script for the past 4 hours and I want to talk to you about everything that isn't the live stream, because this was before the live stream, so I'll go through this and then I'll talk about the live stream. So just a heads up, and now the video will start. Can you imagine a universe where SMG4 isn't in control of the characters anymore? I can, and the horrors are fright. Ho, delightfully devilish. Hello internet, welcome to the Wild West Theory. I'm your host McCrow, where today we'll be going to covering all the Western spaghetti teasers from the very beginning to finding out what was actually been going on and how long this has been going on for. Stay tuned because we'll be covering everything that we possibly can in today's video to finally summarize up everything that we know about this movie before it releases. Firstly, we need to go all the way back to the very beginning of when this was starting out. We are not talking about the beginning of when the Oscar Perfect build-up had begun, but right at the point of the movie's end. It was highly obvious that there was going to be some sort of comeback, as the villain was never actually introduced themselves and was hiding within SMG4's shadow. I don't know how we didn't catch this out, but just after the movie had finished, SMG4 had posted on the Twitter about how happy he was for the future of the channel and the direction it's heading to. Cowboy emoji. Now, how did we not point this out? Well, firstly, we had no initial idea that the direction was heading to the Wild West at the time, and so we completely forgot about it until I saw it again yesterday when scrolling through the tweets on the live stream. Now, moving on to where the story starts to pick up properly is we interrupt this broadcast, where we get a full standing point of what's going to happen. With the episode prior being Grand Theft Meggy, Meggy will attempt to make Tari stronger to stand up for herself. However, as things unfold in the re-interrupt this broadcast episode, we can see that Tari is not necessarily scared and more worried about the sudden TV commercial that played as we entered the house and then turned off again. Now, with Meggy being clearly disturbed by the sudden brainstorm of One Shot Ren if he's still alive or dead, this disrupts Meggy's inability to think properly about the safety and precautions, and instead of looking out at the obvious flaws, convinces Tari by saying that One Shot Ren will fill Tari with determination and power. This gives Tari hope and no longer makes her worry about the TV's sudden switch into being alive. Within this episode also, we get a hint that some Inklings were told to rob Meggy's beanie, which in the process also drags Meggy to One Shot Ren's statue from when he was superior, to be revealed that he's been screwed over and told that he fell off. Now moving on to the next episode, Are You Ready to Ride? This one is surprisingly nearly the most scariest SMG4 video in my opinion, as it feels so eerie with the fact something is always off, like as if you're being watched within this episode. Here's a few hints we get within this video that something is clearly off. 1. Luigi has no reaction to Mario nor the book he has in the hand. The book is a key element which we'll go over further on in the video when it becomes relevant. Now what I believe happened within this segment is that Luigi is obviously being displayed very ominously and off-putting, with the camera being stuck on him with the audio going quiet seconds prior before switching, and well, the rest has to be explained when we get more into depth. 2. People start becoming more quirky as Meggy and Mario explore the cars. Meggy ends up going back to the main character's car, pretty much, where practically everyone's going crazy, shooting guns, lighting dynamite, and going absolutely bonkers until Meggy shouts,
What the hell is going on? Huh? Hello? Hello?
Everyone freezes in place with the TV static playing in the background, which actually gave shivers, you know, and it probably did to everyone else watching at the moment in time. But yeah, everyone's frozen in place except Meggy. Even Mario was frozen. So, how come? But however, when Tari opens the door, which then spooks Meggy and which she turns around, it allows for the magic of the TV to remove all the false entities or the false replicas of the SMG4 crew and put everyone back to their original places. Now, let's talk about everything connecting as we got the new trailer to give us more information. As I said before, there was a red book Luigi was reading, which at the time Luigi had no initial reaction to anyone, and was most likely a fake replica of Luigi. Mario, supposedly fake as well, dragged the real Meggy into the food cart to distract her from the fake Luigi giving the book to the real Tari, in which she opens it to find something corrupting her instantly, but she doesn't know what it is. She runs off to the food cart to hide from everyone, including Meggy, as she has potentially been infected with something that is tampering with her mentality, but she doesn't know what it is. That's off. Meggy leaves Tari to go get some medication, as Meggy believes Tari is train sick, when all of a sudden at that moment I believe something takes over Tari, and as soon as Tari makes her appearance at the door again, it's not Tari, but in fact the TV Winston having control over her. There's no way that Tari would go from, a scared and timid reaction, being worried about what is off, to then being perfectly fine with a happy smile on her face as she tries to convince Meggy that there might just be a little whoopee from the train ride. Now we have these teaser images that I've covered already, but as I said, I'm covering everything in this video, so we'll just go over it again, but not into extortionate detail like I said in the previous videos. First image we get is very standard. It's Meggy and Tari in the Wild West, their hats down as if they're just some insane expert like they've been on the Wild West for all eternity, and all the masters of the land. Anyways, the important key to note is the wanted poster, as Meggy has her head tilted forward to hide her face from the wanted picture. The next few images that we get are not really that much important, they're just like meme ones, I guess. Don't get me wrong, they did a great job on these, but it starts to pick up again in the next wanted poster, which features Meggy's wanted poster of her facing the camera in shock if she has been noticed or alerted of someone watching. One after this is much more concerning and convincing that this isn't some ordinary trip. We see that our house is upside down within the image, and not only does Tari look concerned about the area, but there's eyes watching us like in the Ready to Ride video, as if we were being watched. Everyone, however, seems to be casually dismissing it all as a nice friendly adventure, except Tari. Now this one is being displayed is so off. I still have yet to put my foot down and lock it where I want. I am unsure if there's two Taris or if there's an evil version of Tari developing in her mind or what. All I know is that yes, this is some Fortnite cap, but I believe it is to be more eyes watching, monitoring the two characters and seeing how they get along. And at last, this teaser, the one that pretty much has all of the previous ones combined but more spooky. SMG4's set of cards are flowing ominously, most likely relating to a glitch. Eyes are under the table that may be similar to the ones within the image earlier that was shown in a window. The painting or window, I don't know what it is has to be figured out, is just static. There's a beheaded duck on the wall, Tari's arm's missing, Swag's counter's glitched, Meggy's beanie has a bullet hole in it, the wanted poster is changed once again from being much more severe and showing a worried Meggy, or most likely a stressed Meggy, as the expression used is worried teeth. The poster's words alive is also slashed out, and at last we have the person's set of cards that we don't know whose it is, but the cards show a release date of some sort, which people quickly figured out to be this Saturday. Day passes and we get something truly giving to all of the information, which this is going to be the biggest part of the video. Whew, boy. Within a cinematic trailer that was given to us, which whilst writing this, the title was actually changed from Western Spaghetti to Help Me, with the thumbnail being changed from Meggy and Tari to Simple Static. Anyways, continuing on this static load of lore, slowing down this trailer at some elements lets us observe what's actually unfolding, or as this generation says, cooking. Majority of the trailer from the beginning seems to be happy and cheerful, with what seems to be a shared arc between Meggy and Tari. I say shared arc, but it's like a series, if you get what I mean. It's but it's more leaning to Tari as an important character rather than Meggy's search for her idol, One Shot Ren. Within this trailer we get something that SMG4 hasn't done ever, and that's movie shots within the movie trailer, which in the past it has all been SFM. However, SMG4 goes to spice things up with movie footage teasers of what's actually to be expected when we slow it down. As I said, before the first 24 seconds, which seems to be all normal and ordinary, the rest of the trailer is chaotic, with a bunch of connected lore that goes back to the PSP map that was given to us, the video, Ready to Ride, and so much more. So, let's delve into that. Now, the first scene we get after these nice ones is one with Meggy, Tari, and Mario, standing near a divot within the ground or a sandpit. Whatever is there will of course be revealed in the movie, no doubt in that, but what I suppose it to be is some sort of corrupted thing that they first encounter, which sends a trigger signal to Tari, which starts the spiral of Tari to have a downfall. The next scene to take note is from Meggy with the drum gun from Fortnite being very frustrated, which could lead us back to the first important fact where something could be corrupted and they're trying to kill it. As Meggy steers closer to Tari though, we get more points where Meggy seems worried about Tari's safety and is starting to realise how unsafe it could potentially be here. Then, the next scene, whoa! All the characters are being currently hung up like clothing. This is really testing Yu's boundaries here, guys, come on. But two characters are obviously missing, Meggy and Tari. Now this goes back to my previous theories where I mentioned how the entire cast except Meggy and Tari are fake replicas to illuminate the eye, to tricking Meggy and Tari into believing that they are real. The next scene we get is Tari supposedly strangling Meggy, again with the worried teeth expression, which when being used in this situation is most likely leading to anger and stress, as we saw with the Nile scenes we had in Revelations. In this scene, we also get a segment of Meggy crying, which is highly suggesting that Tari had said something to scare her off, threatened her, or simply just, as I said, scaring her by being the way she is, compared to her usual calm and timid self. Now another scene that is shown gives us SMG4. Now SMG4 most likely getting a PTSD from this memory from the It's Gotta Be Perfect movie, and when the TV had control over him, which could have possibly given him some whispering in the head or the act of a never-ending migraine when the TV was in control. When seeing Tari be controlled or the TV's fullest appearance, the prediction can go from, it's Tari being controlled to, oh shit, a demon! Then an very important scene which you guys are most likely skipping over or missing out on is One Shot Ren. He seems focused with a gun to hit a target, but who may that target be? Now what I assume it to be is Tari. I have a strong sense of thinking that Tari is of course controlled, gone rogue, yada yada yada, but One Shot Ren notices this and takes action to save the crew and shoot Tari's robotic arm off, which could corrupt the control over her to allow her to be herself temporarily, but this also gives us a shot at Meggy's beanie. If Meggy maybe jumped in the way to save Tari and in the process got a shot in the head. If so, then that's going to be a bit hard for people to process, but it's highly doubtful. Then we get these little minor presences of all the characters being in shock and scaredness, which just seems to be filler of the trailer if I'm honest. But the important part here is that it sends us to a part with Tari going insane, reading the exact same book as the one with the fake Luigi had on the train. The exact red book. The book that ties in with my prediction when Mario took Meggy to the food cart. Luigi came into play, gave Meggy the book in a very eerie tone. Tari opened it to be revealed of all the scariness and controlment stuff, which slowly started taking over her, which is why she fled to the food cart away from everyone. Calming down, we get a few more of these very snappy presences of everyone, Meggy crying, Tari and saying, characters in shock and scared, until we go back to the SFM part where we get the exact same feeling that SMG3 got when he went over to SMG4's shoulder. The exact same effect and possible feeling. Now let's finally discuss the conclusion of this all and the entire movie and what I think will happen. The SMG4 crew has landed in the Wild West, they enjoy their trip, happy days for them, yada yada yada, for the time being, and they search for One Shot Ren. They eventually find One Shot Ren and they have this catch-up chat or potential fight. Everything is going smoothly until Tari starts to freak out. She isn't with the crew anymore, she's alone, by herself. She's waiting for it to command her on the actions to take out Meggy, dead or alive. That's when One Shot Ren saves Meggy from being strangled to death by an insane Tari whose arms falls off whilst being shot, which gives a faulty function to allow Tari to gain, the sudden consciousness again. But then Tari, is took out yet again, like she becomes controlled. But it becomes some big battle that the TV finally shows its true identity and that it could have potentially been dressed up as One Shot Ren to build a safe sense of security to the group that he's, a good guy, when in reality it's Winston, the TV, who then plans to destroy everyone. And that's when SG4 gets his PTSD that you see, and everyone in shock as SG4 becomes speechless from knowing what happened when he had the issues. They fight this TV guy for him to not die, but for him to go for a bit, potentially have a third movie that will probably be What 2023 or the replacement and act as a film trilogy. Anyways, that's all I have, and we're just going to wait it out till the 8th. What I can say though is the title of the trailer changed from Western Spaghetti to Help Me English text, with a thumbnail change from, well, a thumbnail you'd expect from SG4 into just a blue background that looks like static but looks more bubbly. I'm not sure. Anyways, if you enjoyed, leave a like and comment your individual theories in the comments below or in the Discord server. Thank you guys for watching to the end. Thank you for 8K subscribers, and let's look forward to the movie.